Wow, that is really bright over there. Yeah, there I am. Haha. So this is Kal Kat, the Kal Kat store, reporting live from Pine Hill. I am literally across the street from Pine Hill, and it is now the Casa de Mir. It's really weird. So Tim said, go check out Pine Hill and Carl's Jr. because it's going to be gone. So yeah, so we're checking it out. Am I recording? I believe you were recording, yes. You're recording. There's so much glare on the lens thing, I cannot see what it's doing. So yeah, here I am on the set of, on location at Pine Hill today. On location at Pine Hill. And it is almost done. It is going to become this. Notice of development plans. This is where I went to junior high and high school. It's Pine Hill School. It's screwed. Yeah, so we'll get other footage as well. It is no longer at school, so I can stand right here, look into the yard, into the lots that it's going to be housing. And so yeah, this is Pine Hill today. Here we have. I go across the street. I want to go across the street where the car is. Joyce Palmer's old house is down there, long since gone. But yes, so we have, this is the Pine Hill set from a Star Trek thing. Of course, not going to trespass on it. I can't say it's abandoned because it's been painted up to look like the center part of a housing redevelopment thing, and there's like some condos over there. But it used to be the high school. A.L. Metzler. It appears that part of it is still being used as some sort of daycare, but they've taken down the sign that said Ninja Academy. It is Sunday. There are cars parked out here, but I think they're just cars parked out here for security purposes. And that they won't complain if I walk through and film my old high school. I don't think they're going to care. Don't think so. Let's see. I'm trying to get to see whether I'm in focus at all. It'd really suck if none of this was in focus. So yeah. It had fences up before, so that's not unusual. Casa de Mir. Yeah. Huh. Pine Hill. The Mir, that's Russian for peace, but that's weird. But Casa's not, that's Spanish. Oh, there's some people over there. Uh-oh. Well, I'm just checking out my old high school. So I'm not going to go over there. Let's see here. Yeah. There are apparently people over there, so don't want to pester. This is Kal Kat. The Kal Kats are reporting from the Pine Hill. Well, it was Pine Hill in the 80s. In the 80s, it was Pine Hill. It was Pine Hill School. It was A.L. Metzler Normal School, training school in the 50s, and then it got bought up by the Pine Hill Second Start in the 80s, and then so. Anyway, but yeah, I went to high school here. I went to junior high and high school here because it was junior high and high school for kids with learning disabilities. Pine Hill. Except most of the area is a mess in there. It appears they've torn down the entire back lot area behind it. There's no equipment out there anymore. So they're clearly intent to sell the land piece by piece. But yeah, so Pine Hill. This was Pine Hill. It was A.L. Metzler, 59 by the Native Sons of the Golden West. It should be a historical landmark in San Jose. I mean, Native Sons of the Golden West in the 50s. And it was a normal school, similar to San Jose State, which was also a normal school. That's why it had all of those weird little kitchenette sets in it. It was a normal school. Training teachers. Yeah, so, I know. So, Pine Hill School. And yeah, so yeah, and I see they've redone the driveway, so probably going to make it like partly the place where the offices to sell the houses. I guess I don't know. Yeah, Pine Hill School here at the back of the back lot thing, checking it out. And yeah, here I am on the set on a Sunday. There shouldn't be hardly anybody here, and there isn't. Yeah, so I think I went over some of what I was watching, but yeah, nobody's saying anything yet. So I think we're going to go to switch to cell phone thing and try to get closer to the fences without actually getting anybody uptight about it. Because we want to see the Josh Braun tree. So we need to see the Josh Braun tree. No. Kid that died at Pine Hill in January 88. We'll see that. Also, yeah, we won't film that, but you can kind of see it popping over the building. But that's another tree there too. There's the Great Kinney tree. So there are two of them. The original tree though had been squished by one of the students and had to be replanted shortly afterwards. So, but it's still just call it the Josh Braun tree. But yes, there's a lot of behind the scenes backstory stuff. Carl's Jr. down there is all boarded up. Check that out in a bit. That'll be the abandoned segment. But since this is not yet abandoned, they're apparently they have done it over, and yeah. That's all to say. I'm going to be walking around too much with a camcorder. They're going to wonder what I'm doing. Nobody has though, so that's good. I went to school here. I mentioned it to some lady who was walking by. She didn't care at all. the building. Yay! There's an Amazon truck. Okay, here's some other video of the truck. The audio is going to be shit, but here's the guerrilla filmmaking video here. And here we have this is after the other footage, and here we have Kal Kat. And the building over there, and yeah, so a little more of that. Here's some footage with the cell phone camera of the edge of the playground area where the SDF set was and all that. It's gone. All the other stuff is gone. They've torn down all the ivy. They have a sign here saying they're gonna like redevelop it into crap. It should be a national landmark of San Jose, absolutely. But apparently, maybe they're going to keep the main building as sort of like the school next to it. That'd be kind of nice, but they probably aren't. They painted it all up pretty and everything. Yeah, there's the playground. We can film it. Ooh, it's a field. I guess they're going to start by building the stuff on the playground. Get the fence up, so I think there's still sort of a daycare, but it's yeah, there's no sound in it, so yeah, there's still stuff going on, so I don't want to mess with it too much, but yeah, there's no glare on this here thing. I can see myself. I look pretty. Clint Cowpoke looking pretty in front of the little high school. Yep. Many strange adventures of Kal Kat as Max Sterling flying about in his Veritech jacket in junior high. Maybe a little bit of high school, just a wee bit there. Anyway, so yeah. This is a little less obtrusive than a giant hulking black video camera. It's a cell phone camera. So I can like walk around the corner here. See me. Uh-oh. Don't want to film him. But yeah, what on earth will I film a field for, but that's the sign off the okay, here's the bus stop. Oh, that's still there. Across the street was Valley Christian. It's now a mall and an athletic center. Well, part of it became an athletic center, and then it's a mall. Yeah, there's no music out here, so you're good. Now let's see what this is. It's a preschool. Okay, but it was a high school. Yeah. Okay, so they want people with little kids to move in there, I guess, so they're going to keep the school and sort of like cut it in half or something. I'm not sure what's up with the old high school. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, okay, how long as the building stays intact, I guess. The whole playground area is gone. Okay, so over here, you can't really see it from here. I bet I can get a better angle from Jenny Byron Drive of the tree, but it would be in the center of the quad back there. The thing that's sticking up in the back. The teen quad. Which is probably clearer from the parking lot than it's from here. But yeah. Yeah, so So in the Pine Hill days, Jennifer Byron happened to be named after this street, Jennifer Byron Street. So here we are at the back of the what was covered in ivy back in the Pine Hill days, the secret entrance to Pine Hill School. They have left it open. I would be trespassing, so I'm not going to go in there. But we can see what appears to be. You might think that's the Josh Braun tree right there. That's the Greg Kinney tree. The Josh Braun tree is the scraggly one right back there. There it is. The scraggly one. Yeah. So. Yeah, the entire lot is abandoned except for the school, which is being renovated as a preschool apparently. For the, I guess, assuming they build houses next to it, condos next to it. So, and yeah, the entrance is literally. I'm now on the campus of Pine Hill. We're in. I'm going in. But yeah, because they didn't know it was there, and it's still here. So here's the building. Here's the sneaky room over here. Oh, it's going through. Actually, that's an ambulance, not cops. And here's the place where you sneak into the campus. I'm not going to, and that is not a pot plant. Okay, that's pretty much what I was saying. Okay, now we got. With the cinnamon plant. I wasn't sure if I was recording. Cinnamon plant, which is not pot. And it just looks like it. And then we have the Josh Braun tree in the distance. Way over there, the scraggly one, and that's the Greg Kinney one in the front. So we're to flip the building around there in the back. And some of the fence is coming down. Took out the whole campus, and that is the secret entrance, which they have taken the ivy away so you can see the secret entrance. Yeah, so we're on Jennifer and Byron. And there was a Pine Hill student named Jennifer. The street's not named after her, it's just a weird coincidence. Yeah, so Pine Hill School. I hope this is recording. Suck if it wasn't. Okay, we're here at the back entrance here. Yeah, they tore out everything. Okay, there's another entrance. Just past the other one, a block down. The fence is gone. I'm not going in, of course. That's my old high school. I'm not going in. Just put the camera in there. Yeah, so they're gonna put the houses over here, I guess. The other entrance, the other sneak out of the high school entrance right there. Yeah, there's no fence right here. So yeah, they're tempting everybody to cross over in there and do an abandoned thing, I guess. I'm not gonna do that. Nope, not doing that. But yeah, my old high school. Yeah, saying it loud so everybody hears it. They'd be like, "Oh, he's filming his old high school," which is true. My old high school. Yeah. So here I am on the other side of the street, and I wanted to get a shot of because you can't go in there. So the strip mall across the street was Valley Christian High School. And over there is Carl's Jr., and it's now gone. It is now boarded up, just as Tim said it was boarded up. And of course you can't park over there. And yeah, so that is the end of that. This is the Cambrian Mall. It still is, the Cambrian Plaza. Yeah, so there it is. Yeah. So, we discuss all the fun stuff here. I'm sure there's going to be a whole lot to. I don't know how much of this. Hopefully, all of this footage is useful. But I decided to bring a camera out here, and turns out the cell phone one probably worked better. But here is. Yeah, I didn't need to do that. Some earlier footage as well. Yeah. So. Just to make sure that we have double footage of everything, Cambrian Plaza Mall, and as Tim said, there's the guy, there's the footage of Carl's Jr., and it's gone. Yeah, we also found another exit that no one knew about from the filming locations behind the school. Then to go to the other location, which was behind the school in the back, where they were building the condos behind it. And I couldn't get in there. But nobody said anything, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, if there's like a preschool, even if there's technically nobody there right now, it's just like the parents of the stuff. It's a little weird. Yeah, but at least they're keeping some of the building, apparently, building around it, which is kind of weird. Yeah, no playground area really, much of anything, but anyway, so yeah, so here we are, nearly 40 years after On Location, the original series at Pine Hill, at the site. Pine Hill, over there, they used to have a Kenny Shoes and a Dunkin' Donuts. They do not anymore. It's gone. That was Valley Christian, that mall over there, and it is almost 2. I haven't had any lunch. Do I have lunch? Yeah. Or do I go all the way back and have it? Probably all the way back. There's really not much here, out here, really. So yeah, here we are. Yeah. Yeah. So, you can add this to, again, put this on the very end of all of it. Actually, that kind of makes sense. This is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster again. This was a trip that, well, took about 40 minutes to get there and 40 minutes to get back, probably. But yeah, a trip on a Sunday to Pine Hill, to the old high school, on location. Junior high school, at A.M. Metzler, which had been renamed Second Start. And it was Pine Hill School until the early 90s when it moved to Andover, the old Andover School. Then it moved from there to another one, and then to another one. Currently, it is on another one near Foxworthy. I'm pretty sure that's where it is. I don't know if Tim's son goes there or not. I'm not sure. Probably. Or something similar. If he's got that kind of funds, I don't know. It was a private school. It's kind of pricey back then. But yeah, my parents footed my tuition when I was in high school there, but didn't know that the state would have reimbursed them later until my senior year, which didn't do them any good. But yeah, they're subsidized. So maybe they've got some kind of program. It is current. It's possible. Yeah. So Tim, we've been by there and said, "Oh, Carl's Jr. just boarded up. They're going to have condos at Pine Hill. I ought to better head down there and see it before it disappears." Well, it appears that they are planning on keeping the school building as part of the condos, which is nice, but they've torn down all of the back lot completely. Yeah, which is in the video. 17 minutes of footage, roughly 17 minutes of footage. Tried with the regular camera. I wanted to get like really good camera details, and it turns out they were all right, but they weren't great. The cell phone camera was better. It is a better camera. Larger files though, so yeah, which it's not going to be 4K anyway. It's going to be 1080, but yeah, a lot larger files. Yeah, we're not dude. They can't run 4K on YouTube the way we do it anyway. Well, you're going to get some actual footage. You're going to see the non-location footage. You've seen it because you're looking at it now. And the commentary afterward of the visit to Pine Hill School. Yeah, so when they're in high school, it was done up with. Well, sometimes a children's school is done up with some kitchenettes. They occasionally do that. But it was a normal school. So, yeah, Metzler Normal School. Native Sons of the Golden West put the sign up. That's true in the 1950s, 59, I believe. It was sign and the plaque were there in front of the school, and Pine Hill sign was just in front of it. So they you see, it was Pine Hills over here. Um, just 3 years ago, it was a sports complex thing with a fake ninja academy inside, which was funny, and we put it in Starship Locations. I noticed that now they've painted it to look like the one from Starship Locations, which is interesting. Apparently they liked our version and they wanted to emulate it. But yes, yet another place trying to emulate Starship Locations with the light gray thing. So Carl's Jr. is boarded up. Nothing going there. But it was revealed during our reunion meeting thing that I had gone there a couple of years ago, 2021, 2022, and been to the Carl's Jr. And there was Peter Rossman doing fake martial arts out front, and Mrs. Rossman, Jill's mother, was working at the Carl's Jr. And as she was back in the days of Pine Hill, which was where one of the infamous Pine Hill stories was told from that perspective. Their mother was still there after 30 years. Recognized me, even though and less hair. Oh, you're Adam Brown. Hi, Mrs. Ross. Yeah, but not anymore. Now it's gone. Yeah. We went to Pine Hill, hung out over there. She knew all about all that. Yeah, it's been a lot of changes around there. But yeah, the Western bacon cheeseburger and the French dips were the food of choice back in the day out there. This is not sponsored by Carl's Jr. or Hardee's at all. Just thought I would mention that. Didn't have anything like that. Actually, gonna have to have dinner afterward here because we spent a lot of stuff out there yesterday. So we're not out there today. Wanted to go back, especially because October 29th, 1984, coming up on the 40th anniversary. But that's when On Location started. On Location was simply me writing in cursive on location at Pine Hill prison as a joke on the blackboard, being an extra movable blackboard on location. Sean McKnight wrote prison underneath. Of course he did. So of course, Kal Kat and Clint Cowpoke, Sean McKnight being the inspiration for Clint Cowpoke, got to go out there and see it for themselves, and we did. I guess if they keep the building and have it sort of the school in the middle of the other stuff going on, that would be great, because then it would still be there. It should be a national landmark. It should be gilded with ropes out in front, and people should come in and awe and stare at Kal Kat. His friends that attended there. There should be statues to us, of course, because not the jocks, but us nerdy geek guys. It should be statues to us, as Pinewood is there, in the main quad area. You could just kind of set it there, statues. Also the Pine Hill Panther logo and all that other stuff. That should be there. There were a lot of other landmarks that were along the road. There was the old collectibles row where Time Tunnel Toy used to be, where the Swedish knick-knack and sweet shop was, or used to be. Rasputin Records is still there, but under some sort of new ownership, it's still there in the corner. Baskin Bookcase is boarded up. That was the Burbank Theater is boarded up, but it's still there as a landmark. The Burbank in the 80s was a porn theater. It played adult movies. But before that, it was a classic old theater. The Pink Poodle, which we lorded over in the 80s when we were in junior high, kept saying, hey, well, let's do a field trip to the Pink Poodle. They kept saying no, of course. They're going to the Pink Poodle. It's a Baskin Bookcase. So that Baskin Bookcase is still there. Pink Poodle Baskin Bookcase. And the Pink Poodle. And the Pink Poodle Strip Club. It's all there. The Gentleman's Club. It's pretty skanky, but it got repainted, but it's still there. Different logos changed a little bit.
So, but still there. We didn't go. The classic time thing, Bascom, the giant time thing, neon sign, classic sign is still there. Up on this building, the building's all dilapidated, but there's the time sign up above it. So there's a bunch of stuff from back in the day. Like if you went down the Winchester side, you could see the Winchester Mall with the Winchester Cadillac logo and all that stuff. That was on the other side. We didn't go there. They went to the Pine Hill. Specifically, we're going to Pine Hill and then the Cambrian Mall is practically deserted, and there's hardly any shops in there. I don't know why they don't just put the condos in that. I don't get it. It's across the street, giant outdoor mall, bigger than the prune yard, in square acres, just sitting there. Maybe the parking lot is in the building altogether. Maybe it's not bigger than the prune yard, but almost. Just sitting there. Maybe it's a landmark too, and they don't want to tear it down. They had a bowling alley and all that stuff. They have a Ninja Academy there, or they did. I don't know if it was still there. I didn't see it. But yeah, we have Pine Hill High School. For kids with learning disabilities. They didn't really know what our disabilities were, but we were there. Pervasive developmental disorder or whatnot. They didn't know what autism was. They knew what hyperactivity was. They didn't know what autism was. So Pine Hill School under the auspices of that cast. So we had to go back in honor of the 40th anniversary of that, not just Transformers. And mainly we talked about our discussion about the Transformers. Did mention the Carl's Jr. But I wanted to see the boarded up Carl's Jr. for myself, and Pine Hill for myself. I wanted to physically go there, stand there, say, look, there it is over there. I thought that would be cool. Turns out I could have used the cell phone camera the whole time and should have, because it's only 18 minutes of footage. I totally could have done that. Couldn't get up close to the building because actually there were sort of people there and cars there. It wasn't just security. There were people physically there just running the place. I couldn't. It was rather gregarious, so just in case anybody was wondering what was going on. Nobody did. One person came up and walking along and did not care what I was doing. Clearly, if I was out there with a camera, I was clearly the middle high school. Yeah, it was a high school. There's probably dozens of Pine Hill kids around there. Maybe she'd gone there. She's all, oh yeah, I know. I went there too. Yeah, that's just probably what she was saying, the lady. yeah, I know. To Pine Hill. I wonder which student she was. It looked like Jill. It looked like Rachel Leffer. It was Rachel Levine, maybe. One of them. Jenny Byron Drive has where you can find that other thing over there. And go through the back. But all the rest of the fence was torn down on the other side. You could walk right in. But I did not. Did not do that. Didn't know. But we went around that other side where no one ever went before. Saw that. So I'm kind of recapping what I saw. But that's important because, it was more of a social, emotional learning function, self-class thing, teaching like awkward kids how to communicate, more so than the academic side. They didn't really. A lot of us ended up in junior college and stuff. It was a rarity in the '80s that any of us went on to college. Very, very, very rare. It was actually kind of shocking that I caught up to that grade there and graduated a little early from Pine Hill in 1989 and went on to college. They were like, how did you get into college? Well, 1994, I graduated from that college. Evergreen. In 1998, I graduated from San Jose State, became the only Pine Hill student the past 5 years of the classes to ever go to San Jose State. 1998, I graduated from there. Only Pine Hill student to ever graduate from San Jose State. Big Tim also went to Evergreen and San Jose City. Didn't graduate. Got like a trade. Went on to do a trade. Security. His diabetes and other things that hindered that. But he did a trade. He did a trade. Mark's Cards or John Yeager also did a trade. In the computer industry. The clean room monitoring, testing, and stuff like that. Test the chemical content, make sure there's nothing leaking out there, make sure the monitors are all working. Sort of I asked him one time, did he ever use any lighthouse monitoring from the Jung Salon? They made the monitors. He said, no, but I saw some broken down ones once. We didn't use them. They were just broken. But yes, didn't use those. They were broken. But yeah, and one of our cast of Angie Tyson, who was down south in L.A. and up north again, in Oregon, same place she was like years earlier, 30 years earlier. Had 4 kids and everything. She moved away, but she was one of the minions and one of the only students as well. Went on to college, got a degree in an associate's degree in communications stuff, like a phone service person kind of thing. Yeah, so that's what she is. So she has a degree, an AA degree, in that, which is interesting. Telecommunications. She's like Uhura on Star Trek. Telecommunications. Nobody else. I've seen her. Then she could have said she worked at Carl's, but she didn't. There was another girl named Liz Wolf who claimed that she was dating an oil sheik that she met at 7-Eleven. Or at least we thought it must have been a 7-Eleven, because back in the day, a lot of Indian guys worked at 7-Eleven. It's a little racist. But no, the 7-Eleven over there was an Indian guy working there. Yeah. Incident was visit was a little homophobic, but we tried to tamp that down a little bit. And but yes, there was another girl who was eating a sandwich, stole the teacher's sandwich off the desk. It was eating the sandwich in the middle of eating the sandwich, and the teacher said, "You're eating my sandwich." And she said, "No, I'm not." That was crazy. Also, we had another one of a girl who was mad and wanted to leave, and her parents would not come and pick her up. But she called up. There was a payphone. She grabbed it, threw down the receiver, and screamed, "Damn it!" to the counselor. Then stormed toward the gate. Realized she couldn't leave, and was like, came back. Because they had gates. They still have gates. Now the kids couldn't escape, except for that back door. She could have run that way. I think so. But yes, there was a bunch of crazy stories. I'm not telling you anything about what happened in counselings or anything. I'm not telling you about ones that tried to take themselves out or anything like that. I'm not going to tell you anything about that because that's like, that's kind of in counseling. People were doing that. Even now, decades later, those people, we're not mentioning those Pine Hill students. They're going to be a little whack, But the stories that were told on recess, like that Carl's Jr. working story, that was told several times at recess. So that was common knowledge. Everybody knew that. That didn't happen. Come on. Somebody looked at you funny and you thought you were being accosted. I don't know. If that even happened. But yes. What if somehow it's conflated with something else? It doesn't matter. If she's even around anymore. The mother didn't mention her. The son's around. He was doing fake martial arts, ninjas. Yep, so that was the ninja in that 2021 video, I think it was. We went there. Yeah, down the Pine Hill. So it has been a little while, and it looks like they've torn out all the play area to put houses on it. I'm just gonna have the school like stuck like in the middle of it, so they can go to school, I guess. Build the condos around it. Yeah. Or it was an old Superfund site. I don't know. But yeah, you'd think they just put them on the other side, by the Cambrian Mall, or just take that part of that down, put them over there. Better access to parking. Yeah. We need more condos. Yeah, totally do. Yeah, that's how that. Yeah, you got to wonder like that old building row, why that's sitting there vacant off the freeway. I guess you can't really put houses there because it's right next to the expressway. They're not going to do that, but yeah, it's just sitting there, half dead. Like that whole row is like dead. Yeah, so they got, but then Pine Hill is picked on. Of course it does. But Valley Christian went first. Yeah, in 1991. It became a strip mall. To which several people joked afterward that weren't from Pine Hill. Strip mall, like there's strippers there. No. The Big Poodle, yes, but not there. And no, yeah. Actually, they brought up that too because one of the relatives wanted to go to a gentleman's club. I didn't want to go, and we didn't go. He wants to go next time again. The relative, and happened to mention the gentleman, the strip joint, Big Poodle. Tim, when we were walking, this is Annie and the kidder in the Legoland thing. Mentioned several crazy things that happened during our less than savory Minions days post high school and college. They were running around, so we decided to go to the Poodle, the bookstore, and the basket bookcase, and the Poodle. It wasn't nearly as much fun after you're like 21, and you're like, oh, I can actually go in here. It was like stupid, smoky place, grody, nasty, smelly, like the clientele doesn't like you. The clientele is just paying you wants money. Like, you throw them a couple of dollars, and they dance. Yeah, boring. Anyway, I got no interest in doing that. But yeah, it's not like in the movies where it's like funny and they're like, it's like it's the bachelor party where the stripper jumps out of the cake and it's funny. Or the stripper turns out to be the auntie or something. They can secret my success. It's like, no, that doesn't really happen. It's usually kind of sad and pathetic. Oh shit, she is better, but still, $20. Anyway, I'm not going to give them anything in any of these places. Why? Yeah, it was like this is boring now that we're old enough to do it. Oh, that was the point. But yeah, so Pine Hill School, yeah. And also the situation of not having cars back in the day also kind of hinted at that. I didn't actually have a car until I was 24, so. But yeah, Tim had one, a big car that he eventually senior year, but a little after senior year, which is why we couldn't do our version of the senior prank. Well, our class couldn't do it. Class before, room 10, did the most awesome senior prank with all the doll and effigy hanging of the two teachers, Don and Roger. This is where they got the idea for the board, because they were hanging like the board in the clothes, and that's where the board comes from, which Next Generation rejiggered as the Borg. That's kind of where we got the idea. The king and queen of the board were from the this party. That's all it was. They didn't like it. And the Pine Hill Prison sprayed in whipped cream all over the parking lot. There was Marty Brown's bike, no relation, got covered in whipped cream, shaving cream, because there was service merchandise in another store over there. The two gas stations across the street and the other one down the other way it's the 80s. They had cigarette machines, and you could just go up to them and get cigarettes. So mostly the girls, not so much the guys, would go there, get cigarettes, and pretend like they got they give themselves addicted to cigarettes at like 16. Yeah, that's a great idea. Never had any inkling to, but that's what they did. They would. There were stories about, the gang. There wasn't really a gang. There was stories about the guys, frustrating the minions. Ooh, it was the geeky, the role playing group. It wasn't the gang at all. It was like, yeah, we were so not in any way going over there. But it's cool they have role playing stuff at the mall now. They can do that now. You can do that. Kids can do that. We wouldn't even have any idea of all the new games, what they are. You'd have no clue. We went in there, we're like lost in the game store. I don't know what half of the stuff. No, there was some D&D stuff, so I recognize that, and the big Macross in the window and all that, and some of the Marvel stuff. Yeah, there was an Alpha Flight book he bought, but yeah, there was no actual gang. It was just more like a goofy sort of. Yeah, I didn't have gangs. I don't think even the newer one did. But yeah, they were. No, it was Pine Hill. It was not supposed to. Yeah, it was. Yeah, they weren't supposed to be allowing bullies and gangs and stuff. That didn't happen in there. They were supposed to be protected, so they didn't really. So that didn't really go on. But at the bus stops afterward, after school, there were some weirdos, bullies, and stuff. And there was a girl, Chris, Libby. She kicked one of them in the nuts. I remember that they told that story. And of course, the infamous story where Greg wanted to challenge me to a fight. Yeah, and Tim was all, "You can take him, and when you're done with him, I get him." And he's like, Greg's all, "Okay, I give up." Tim was gonna just decide to throw him. Oh. I think he said to Scott Summers, it wasn't Greg, it was this other guy. He said that he wanted to turn him into a pretzel. He didn't, but other than that, he could have been the football linebacker. If there was a football team, the main center guard guy. Greg would not have been baseball or something. Oh well, silly. Don't matter anymore. No. Well, the infamous neck pinch thing. Jamie Mizzy tried to Vulcan nerve pinch me. I turned around and grabbed his thumb. I didn't even know what I was doing really. I didn't have only what was it at that point? Only 6 months of Jung Swan training at that point. So I didn't know what I was doing. I really didn't. But apparently I did. Oh, yeah. Jamie Mizzy respected me after that. Don't mess with that. That's John, not Adam. Yeah. I didn't hurt his phone that much. Anyway, oh, shit. Crazy stuff. Yeah. The blazing backpack you throw it in the air. Didn't hit anybody with it, though. Oh. I tripped a bully with it in junior high, though. He fell over it. You tripped me backpack. He's like, it was right there on the ground. You fell on it. But yeah, some bullies of VC kids stole Mark John's backpack. They stole it one morning. Me and Tim were like, let's go find him. Kick their butts. It's like, they wouldn't even know who did it. Oh, yeah. So we didn't. Let's go over there and get the backpack back. Whoa. They probably threw it in a tree or something. Probably threw it in the garbage. I didn't notice. And he was a little mousy guy. He was a little little guy. But Mike Van Dam was a bit smaller and a bit crazier. Sort of the replacement for Henry Brister after he left in my junior year, which was anyway, Henry, yeah. He wasn't really the replacement. He was just another kid that similar, goofy, outgoing personality. Anyway, so all of them immortalized in Starship Locations. So all of them, pretty much. And now Tim knows that his action figure has finally arrived. Yes, there's finally a Schmidt Tim action figure, a la Starcrackers remake, in the story. He finally has one. So, oh, cool. Girl. That's the action figure. Star Trek. Oh. Yeah, but he's not going to do the voice for the new show. He's not going to do any of the voices because he didn't have time to do that. The kid and all that. He was all, oh, good. It'll be cool, though. Yeah. He's only seen some of our stuff. Some of it. He saw the thing on the Priams or something. I saw that. Yeah, and some of the other mush stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so, and some of the reunion stuff. So, yeah, the Starcracker sets, he saw that. I think he saw that. And go back to the Starcracker sets. See what that looks like. Forgot back there. Yes. Just before it was gone. No. The table's still there. They brought that in. Table's still, the round table is still there. Anyway, it's still down there. Yeah, so Pine Hill on location and reminiscing about the location. The original Minions. Okay, well, the original Minions. Might as well go into that. Original Minions. Yeah. So originally, the original 83, 84, just as I got there. Tim and Angie, Sean McKnight, Jane Milkowski, Peripheral, Sean McKnight's friend. Sandra Kistler. Yeah. Jim Buffkin a little later in 86. Yeah, 1984, 85, 86. Michelle English, also a Minion. Yeah, so they have that cast in there. Yeah, so that's what was in the original on location. October 29th audio tape. That is long since gone. I think there's a retro edited, re-edited script version, but it's just me doing the voices. It's not the original. It's gone. Yeah, I recorded academics class. I recorded Michelle and Angie having a fit about money that so to Michelle. It had the other stuff. It had Jeanette Mickelson in the background, a crazy girl mentioned sitting on her perch and looking at the boys and all that. It had some other stuff. This is way 40 years ago. And we won't go into what these other characters ended up doing or anything like that. There's no point in that. Alice had become messed up. Joel Hack was in there. All the old cast members, the first season of the self-class. And because it was a self-class, social emotional learning function, can't mention everything. Another amusing thing that amuses the current Alpha and Zoomer generations, kids from the church cast is mention of Pine Hill and what that, because some of those kids are special needs, and it's interesting that we mentioned that back in the day we got to put our Transformers in the classroom. As long as we didn't play with them during class, it gets set up there on display. There are Transformers toys up there. We did. All the way to senior year, they were sitting up there. Took them back with me. Yep, Transformers toys. So we were there, OG. We were there. Kal Kat, Brown, truly the grandfather of Transformers fan films, at Pine Hill, making with a giant video camera his own fan film. Making my own fan films while the show was running. No one else has a copy of their videos. It'd be cool if I could find some that do out there somewhere. That'd be fun. But yeah, we were totally into Transformers and Star Trek. Tim was more into Champions and some of the other ones, some of the spin-offs. Some of the Champions was Marvel superheroes, but blank slate, so you could make your own heroes up. And we did several adventures with the heroes. The cheating molecule man and everything. Tim asked about Lonnie, the game master, but I don't know what happened to him after Pine Hill at all. I think Tim's the last person I've seen him. Chuck McCain, the guy who told me don't ever do drugs because you're weird enough as it is, he's still around, even though in 2005 or so, Jim Buffkin assumed he was dead, thought he was dead. And I said, no, I just talked to him on MySpace like last week, and back in the day. And he was alive. He's like, oh, Jim thinks I'm dead? That's weird. Dude, I'm going to go over to his house and pester him. So we did. But yeah, so, dude, I'm still alive, dude. Dude, I'm dead. Like, dude, we're only doing pot. Come on. You weren't. Oh. Yeah, you were totally straight. You never touched it. That's right. Yeah, so. So, yeah. Pine Hill stories. There are all kinds of old stories that have recycled over the years. And kind of, you know, it's fun to look back on this, reminisce, and go back here. Maybe we'll get some Mark's Cards stories that for the anniversary. Because it is coming up. I'm going to bring Mark's Cards to the studio next Thursday and say, we need to get your opinion on the Pine Hill Saga today, kind of thing. Because, I talked about my stories, but your story. We'll post them, yeah. But that's some of mine, and oh yes, I didn't mention. Did Mark's Cards actually have a degree in something? He majored in film at Evergreen, film and literature, same as I did into Evergreen, and then a little bit of journalism. But he switched to film entirely at San Jose State, and never graduated. Tried to go back in 2006, around the time that I was there. Tried to graduate from there. So, of all the minions, I'm the only one that has 2 degrees from San Jose State. Because I went back and got another one and said, well, there's a couple of other people that have managed to get a bachelor's in something. A couple of other Pine Hill students, so I better go out and get another one. Then I have another one, just in case somebody catches that. But yeah, and couldn't do anything with it, incidentally. A film degree, he wanted to be the next Stephen King. It didn't happen. That was mentioned at the thing. There's just no way. Hollywood is merciless. There's no way a special dude from like Milpitas or San Jose is going to make it in Hollywood. It's not going to happen. It has been known. I mean, through even if they don't have, even if they got the talent, even if sometimes that happens. Sometimes I did meet some Hollywood people. The stories who went to Hollywood, met them, and Mr. Chin from the church. From back in the day, I went to Hollywood and it did that. It's very rare that anybody goes to L.A. and immediately becomes something. Everybody wants to go to L.A. and become famous, or everybody goes to New York and become famous. It's very rare. But yes, that is not much. They did some movie commercials at Pine Hill. Let's double back to Pine Hill. They did some movie commercials, and they were, and every time they did a commercial there, with a news crew or something, go to Pine Hill. This is the kid with learning disability. They would always cut my part out. Junior year, though, I did Little Shop of Horrors. And I did the dentist with Tim Nielsen as receiving the dentist. He did the Bill Murray part. I did the full on like Steve Martin part. It was hilarious. And I had a power drill, an actual power drill. That was very funny. We did a Little Shop of Horrors. So we did that in high school. Senior year, though, I didn't do a drama because I got kicked out of the drama class. Another little guy, Mike Van Dam, I mentioned. Well, Mike Van Dam and Mark's Cards for John were goofing off a lot because we were so excited we get to be in drama again. And they pulled me off the stage, like feet first, like, bam! Like, why did I get kicked out when they pulled me off the stage? I don't know. Oh, at least when we did the haunted house thing in the Halloween the year before, it was that same Thundercracker was. I did a Thundercracker cardboard costume with Trendstick, but Dad assembled the little pager blaster thing and little light show blaster thing. We didn't have LEDs back then, so it was all flashlights, tiny flashlights, and Thundercracker. And so, haunted house thing. I like the haunted house more than the haunted woods because you can spook people. And that was great. I had to scare the living crap out of everybody. But as a Decepticon. Oh, on haunted house. So yes, because On Location started around Halloween, so it's a connection. Yeah, so I decided to ramble on about On Location, and then precariously through movie parts, leave it all in, just because it's like what was going on for like years. I know that Three Ninja thing was like the 90s, early 90s, like 92, 93, somewhere in there. Ness and Duermo was 2000 and 2000 even 2000, somewhere around there. You know, I was like, yeah, 2004 was the last time there was an official On Location reunion with everybody except for Angie, who was in LA at the time, wasn't around. The cast, well, at least the minions, the minions. Yeah, so back to Pine Hill. So there you go. There's my thoughts on that. Maybe we'll get Mark's Card's thoughts on a spin-off update thingy. Throw his thoughts on there about Pine Hill as well. He didn't go on this particular sojourn. That was just me doing me and Kal Kat. Or Cowpoke. But it was just me. Strangely enough, they didn't really mind. Probably because the main people weren't there. Because it was like Sunday. Nobody's there on Sunday. Yeah, I'm not sure why Casimir doesn't make sense, but I'm assuming there's a lot of Latin and Russians around there. They kind of combined them. Maybe mir means something else in Spanish, but yeah, not going to bother looking that up. Maybe it means the same thing. Maybe it's a Latinized root or something. Peace house. That doesn't really kind of make sense. Why not call it kindergarten or something? But sure, at least that kind of makes sense. But yes, kindergarten literally means children garden. It's like literally what it is. Oh yeah, they could have made it that. It's not much of a garden though. All the weeds are dead and the field's dead. Half the trees are gone. In the back. That poor sickly Josh Brolin tree, which you could barely see, is off to the side, all scraggly, like it's about to die. Again. It died early on, too, when it was a sapling. Somebody stepped on it. Backed over it with something. Then this Greg Kinney tree, which is all over the place. The Greg Kinney was another kid that died a year later. This big, huge McKinney quad tree, that's the Greg Kinney tree. The one that you can actually see, it's all blooming, everything is all green, that's the Greg Kinney. In the middle of the kid quad. On the front. It's the other one. I imagine it's messing up the heck out of that place's sewer lines at this point. It's huge. It's probably eating away. The roots are probably everywhere. Yeah. I wonder how they're going to handle that with a housing development. I probably didn't think of that. Well, the roots are going to be everywhere for all those trees, some of them which they chopped down. You're like, what are they going to do? They're going to like rototill everything all the way down to the ground or something. Yeah, so there's my long discussion on returning to the Pine Hill. And we're going to put it all on there, uncut. Because why not? Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I will cut out the movie stuff just because that doesn't relate to Pine Hill. A little success, I guess, afterward. It kind of does. Kal Kat show now. Not nearly as many views though now, so it's like success but not success. I mean, they know who Kal Kat is when you go to Fanime and everything. Thousands of videos, there's just not thousands of subscribers. There's hundreds of subscribers. There used to be thousands, now there are hundreds. A lot of people left. And that didn't leave me, they left YouTube. So they're just not there. I'm sticking around. Am I in focus? I hope I'm in focus. I think I am. So, you want to see me? You want to see this? Renovated it a little. Let me see if I can get over there. Hold on a second. I'm gonna pause it. Yeah. So, me. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm in focus. There I am. It's kind of what happened. And yeah, I want to make sure I'm not filming random people over there. I'm only gonna, yeah, what the, yeah, it's odd. I don't want to pester them and get arrested or something. Yeah, and there's just, yeah. So I could stand in the lot back there. They probably wouldn't care, but, but yeah, so yeah, not gonna do that. Anyway, I can't tell whether I'm in the camera. I think I am. I do not like extreme close-ups. They look stupid in movies. I don't know how many extreme close-ups we have of Kal Kat there, but we don't want those. Probably wondering. Oh, was I not recording all that shit? Okay, I got to record it now. I'm gonna switch the.
So that old story from Pine Hill, the old story as it goes, was Jill Rossman when she was in junior high. Mind you, she's in junior high, not working age. Claimed because she was there, because it's like 1985, 84, 85, somewhere around there. Junior high. Claimed that when she was working at the Carl's Jr., she was accosted sexually when she was working at the Carl's Jr. The reason that story doesn't make any sense is she couldn't have been working there because she never did. Her mother worked there. She never did. So now she could have said, okay, well, there was a creeper, at some point in the Carl's Jr. Well, good, okay. Yeah. There were a few creepers now and then. Yes, she could have said that, but she didn't. Anyway. So yeah, one of the bloopers from the story was that Annie accidentally called John Jim Buffkin. But nope, he's not Jim. No, not Jim. Oh, we were just talking about him. Yeah, so yet another person. I guess if you don't see him, you don't realize he's there. There were some interesting people on the way in and out that were not nuts on the road, but nothing too serious. And so yeah, and there was another guy at Pine Hill named Jamie, make up stories, elaborate stories about having a giant house, and it was a split level like the Cantrells was. It wasn't a giant house. It was pretty big, but it wasn't a giant house. And tanks and bazookas. Maybe a G.I. Joe toy tank. Maybe. Oh. Anyway, making up stuff. As they would. So yes, Pine Hill School. So yeah, some of the stuff we discussed in the 92 edition of the Looking Back at Pine Hill, and in the other editions, the 2004 edition. I don't think Jim Buffkin ever met Jamie Mezzi directly. I don't think he did. Yeah, I don't think he did. He met LaTanya, who was briefly a girlfriend, an ex-girlfriend. He thought he was a girlfriend. I mean, he was never dating her. I was, for a week, back in the Pine Hill days. I was never dating, contrary to rumors, I was never dating Monique Clayton, who came later. We're just friends. We never dated. Never dated Jill Rossman. No, never did that. But Greg Carr, who was the bully of the cast, he left, but he did. He later dated her, which was. There was somebody who already had some connection. She became a folk singer. There was just one person that became a folk singer. There was also somebody from the church VBS group that was a kid at VBS group, around the same age as one of my nieces, who eventually went on to be in a movie, American Girl, the movie, and then she went on to be a folk singer. Bree Jansen. They don't know each other anymore, but she became a famous celebrity, semi-famous B-list actor. But that's out of how many thousands of them that did that, or did the Young Swan or something else. Wow, I mean, that's really, really rare. You have to really, really work at it. And I don't think she's famous anymore. I think she was famous, but not as much anymore. Yeah, that was one of like a child star thing. She grew up and then, oh, wow, child star. Similar to Kal Kat, the child star. few 15 minutes of fame things. I mean, through that academy, that 18 years there, the cult, through the 18 years there and all that, there were some movie things that we did and background things in some films, which oddly enough are not mentioned in the accolades of the Grandmaster Guru lady. They're not mentioned. And that's not on location. The Pine Hill. It's on location 2. It's the sequel. But yeah. So there was other claims to fame where a bit part background character Kal Kat was in a Tacky Stretchy Warriors commercial. Art Museum, San Jose Art thing had a contest, and then we were put into the art school after that. It was Tim and I, and we did some commercials, none of which aired anywhere, but that one did, and it appeared on the Vine Sauce, and I was like, "That kid in there that you guys can't identify, that's me." And they're like, "Oh, hi." Actually, I was about 20 when I did that. 19 or 20. I could still play a kid. Yeah, that's why he doesn't match up with any current ex-kid, because he wasn't a kid anymore. That's why it didn't match up with any known actor, because it wasn't a known actor. He's a guy from Milpitas. Anyway, but then there's the Three Ninjas, which is the other claim to fame, where there was a scene where the Kal Katster is background fighting Ernie Reyes Jr., who was a kid at the time, as a younger student, sparring. And briefly, and here in the background, the key ups, the yell. Yeah, you heard my yell. Ah! As he then kicked my butt, of course, because kid's supposed to win. It's a kid's movie. It's supposed to win. Which later on in one of those toy shows, we saw each other. Ernie Gray Jr. was there. And it was like, it'd be highly dubious for me to get a signature from you, because we worked together years ago. It was funny, that's a neither here nor there story, but the other guy in line who was on about surf ninjas and Ninja Turtles and other things was another black kid. Not kid, it was another guy about my age, a little younger than me, maybe 10 years younger than me. I was in my 40s when that happened, I think. Late 40s. He was in his late 30s. And he's all like, "Oh, yeah. That's the thing, the surf ninja thing. Oh, no, that guy was in, he asked him. Oh, that guy was in Three Ninjas in the background extra." It's all, so you want my autograph too? I'll give you. You don't recognize me in the credits. I'm not in. That's okay. Anyway, so, but then there was this other movie where Martha and I did my sister got me a gig, briefly, in a San Francisco movie called Nessun Dorma, No One Sleeps. We were in a diner pretending to eat Chinese food. The hot summer evening. Yeah, I told that story before. So we had some experience doing some pretending to eat Chinese food, and then watching a fight scene at the end, in which the director just couldn't get the fight scene right because he kept. I was a Jung Swan person at this point. I was a black belt at this point, or almost a black belt. It was a red belt with black belt, almost a black belt, and I knew how to throw a punch, take a punch. So we're all like, the directors did 20 takes. Why is the guy falling forward? I'm not understanding why this doesn't work. Physically is physics, And I'm all, "Excuse me, Mr. Director, but I think I know what you're doing wrong." "Yeah, because I have Jung Swan martial arts." So I was like, "Here, you're going to throw a punch? Guy's going to go back like that. He's not going to come forward. He's going to go back." Director says, "I'm the director. I know what I'm doing." He didn't know what he was doing. You direct your movie, you'll do this. No One Sleeps. Yeah, that's my martial arts story. Directing killing him. The fight choreography was off, Watch a lot of kung fu movies, Nobody ever goes forward with a fist. Hit somebody in the face, they're going backward. Or to the side. And the finished take did not look very good. And when he finally did it, We weren't invited back for the rest of the shoot. Ah, movies. Hollywood.